What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. As always, I'd like to remind you guys that if you want to donate to my channel, if you want to show love to my channel, if you want to contribute to my channel, you can do so in the links provided in the description box below. Now, back in 2009, Avatar ruled the box office all the way through 2010. It was a phenomenon. It stayed a relevant movie for a very long time, and it overtook Titanic, which had been the box office king at that time for well over a decade. It overtook Titanic to become the highest grossing movie of all time. Interestingly enough, both of those movies were directed by James Cameron. And Avatar has been the box office king since then. No movie has seriously challenged it. Avengers Infinity War grossed over $2 billion, but it fell several $100 million short of challenging Avatar. But some people felt that Avengers Endgame, a movie that was so highly anticipated, and so much enthusiasm for this movie, that some people thought this movie was the one that could overtake Avatar. And at first it looked like it was going to blow it out of the water as far as overall gross. And we remember the first 10 to 15 days this movie was unbelievable. It was the fastest movie to $1 billion. I think it did it like in its first week or first weekend or something like that, or a little bit more than the weekend. And I think in just 10 days, it surpassed what Titanic did during its entire theatrical run in just 10 days. So the prevailing wisdom at the time was that this movie is going to blow away Avatar. But what happened is, unlike Avatar, Avengers Endgame had a lot more competition. The timetables, as far as the movies that it was going to face in the box office, was different than Avatar. And if I remember correctly, Avatar came out around Christmas 2009. I might be wrong about that, but I thought it was Christmas. So it didn't really have a lot of competition. You think about it all the way through Memorial Day. That's when like a lot of the blockbusters come out. It didn't really have a lot of competition for a long period of time. So, but unlike that movie, Avengers Endgame did. And it slowed down considerably to the point where it was just trickling money after a while. And it looked like just as recently as 3 weeks ago that it was going to fall short. It was not, it was going to fall short a couple of million, maybe 20, 30 million. But what happened was there was a re-release June 28th worldwide where there was some deleted scenes, a Stan Lee tribute. And the re-release did better than expected. And I remember looking at some of the updated numbers just a couple of days ago, and I said to myself, damn, it's only $7 million behind Avatar. It has a chance. I even texted my friend of mine about that. And now it finally surpassed Avatar. So it is now officially the box office king. During its entire theatrical run, Avatar made about $2,789,000,000. Avengers Endgame now has made $2,790,000,000. But like I said, at this point, it's just trickling money. So it's not going to go that much further than where it is now, but it's going to build upon the record. I think I read that this movie is probably going to stay in theaters until September. So it's going to add to it. Not a lot, but it's going to add to the record. And there's a couple ways of looking at this. Now, some people can say, well, if you adjust for inflation, Avatar is still number one. Now, if you adjust for inflation, yeah, Avatar would have made more money in 2019 dollars versus $2009. But when you make that argument, you open up a whole nother can of worms, because if you're looking at all films adjusted for inflation, then Titanic probably made more money than both of these movies. When you adjust for $1997 to $2019, and then actually the highest grossing movie of all time when you adjust for inflation is a movie that was made before probably anybody listened to his video. Matter of fact, before a lot of people's parents were even born who listened to his video, which was Gone with the Wind, which when you adjust for inflation in 2019 dollars made about 3.7, $3.8 billion. If you adjust for today's money, I think back then it made $400 million, which would still be a healthy box office haul for some movies today. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's still the only movie to sell over 200 million tickets worldwide. And also, like I said before, Avengers Endgame faced more competition in the box office than Avatar did. But domestically, and by domestically I mean North America, Avengers Endgame is not number one. What movie's number one all time as far as North American market? Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which I think came out in 2015. That movie made 900, and I think it was $936 million domestically. I think Avengers Endgame is number two, 854 million, but it's not going to seriously challenge Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's not going to catch that. It's too far behind. But it did pass Avatar several weeks ago as far as the domestic box office. But everybody, is more concerned with the global record. So that has been toppled. So if you are a Marvel fan, you have bragging rights. If you're a fan of Avatar, well, this is the thing about Avatar, though. It was a great movie when it came out, as far as with the computer animation and the graphics. It was a phenomenon when it came out. But I don't think this movie has aged as well as some of these other movies. And the reason why I say it is because nobody really gives a fuck about Avatar anymore. Maybe I'm wrong about this one, but do people really care about this movie anymore? You know, I mean, people are emotionally invested in the Marvel characters. You know, they're emotionally invested in Iron Man, Tony Stark. They're emotionally invested in Thor. They're emotionally invested in Hulk. You know, aka Bruce Banner. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a visceral reaction to these characters. People sobbed. People were emotionally distraught that Tony Stark, an imaginary character, died. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I almost fucking lost it when Wolverine died in Logan. Even though I know that these characters aren't real, to me, in my mind, they're real. Even though I know they're not. You get what I'm saying? People don't really give a fuck about Avatar. Fuck this movie. I thought they looked weird anyway. What the fuck are they? Like fucking blue lemmings or some shit? I mean, what are they? I never really got that movie, man. I know they did like a cartoon series about it or whatever. But it tells you that these characters really don't. They're not important, man. They never been a fucking sequel. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? Marvel's the shit. Now I don't want to get into this argument about Marvel versus DC. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, I love Superman, I love Batman. But look, when it comes to movies, DC can't hold a candle to Marvel, man. It's just how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, Marvel movies are the shit. They dominate the box office, and it kind of was only a matter of time until a Marvel movie became the all-time winner, the all-time king. So congratulations to Avengers Endgame, the all-time king, the box office champ.